What we've done in Leeds and the Leeds City region is built a winning team. We backed ourselves during the recession. We were hit hard, but we bounced back, and we have fantastic developments to show for it, whether that's Trinity, Victoria Gate, the arena, platform, the South Bank developments, which are moving on a pace. And the partnerships we built are active ones. Leeds and Bradford put together is bigger than Birmingham, the youngest demographic in Europe. The work that we do with the wider partnership, bringing in York and Huddersfield and Wakefield and others, gives us 2-3 million people having access to a labour market. But everything that we've achieved has been in partnership, with the public and private sectors working together to a common end. So be part of the winning team.
We must continue to strive and work hard towards delivering a globally significant economy that's not only important to Leeds City region, the north, but importantly to the nation.
Leeds City region is really well connected. We have international airports on our doorsteps. We have a great point of connectivity in the UK generally. It's 3 million people, it's 1.5 million jobs, but it's incredibly compact and well connected. So for example, you can get between Wakefield and Leeds in 15 minutes, between Bradford and Leeds in 22 minutes. We actually think there's a lot more to do in that space, and the Northern Powerhouse initiative potentially could connect Bradford and Leeds in 10 minutes, making it feel much more like a tube journey than an intercity rail commute.
Leeds is a growing city. We want to double the size of our city centre, and we're going to do that by using the high-speed rail opportunity. The HS2 station will be in a T-shape with the current station, already the busiest in the north of England. We're making sure that we're adapting our transport system as we speak. So Kirkstall Forge is a fantastic new development that has a new train station. We have similar ones planned for Thorpe Park in the north, for the airport, to link up our airport, growing again, an ambition to have 7 million more passengers, and White Rose in the south of the city as well. So what you'll find in Leeds is not development separate from transport, separate from skills. The whole thing is a single entity. We work together, we make things happen, and we have great, exciting plans for the next few years.
One of the strengths of the Leeds City region is that we've got one of the fastest growing young populations in the country, with a particular increase in under 21s. Not only that, but we're very successful in retaining and attracting young talent. 56% of graduates who study in the city region choose to stay and live and work here, and 70% of those who are born here but leave to study somewhere else actually come back to live and work here. So that gives us a huge pool both of young talent, of homegrown talent, and of new talent coming into the region. Obviously, quite a big factor in how we stimulate economic growth and make sure we are attracting that talent is that we do need to be able to build new homes at both scale and at pace. In order to do that, we've all got very challenging house building targets, and we work closely with house builders, of both the large house builders and smaller house builders, to try and look at how we stimulate the market. One thing we've done in Wakefield, for example, is set up a joint venture to show how a small housing developer can operate, how we can demonstrate demand, and how we can build housing at higher quality than perhaps is sometimes demonstrated elsewhere, which is another reason why we're attracting a very strong young workforce.
Everything we do is in partnership, and we want to be one of the world-leading innovators. The way you do that is tapping into your best assets. We have 4 fantastic universities in Leeds and many more in our city region. So the way we're going to develop is by creating an innovation district in the north of the city centre. We're already starting with that with an amazing building called Nexus that the University of Leeds are building. And we're doing that not just in innovation with business, but we're innovating to make sure we have the houses that we need for the future and that they are lower carbon. So the Situ district, a climate innovation district towards the east of the city centre, is building new homes already, which are going to be fantastic for our growing population of graduates and young people. So the whole package, if you like, is one where we try and innovate together with our partners to get things done.
One of the amazing assets that the Leeds City region has as an economy is that kind of predisposition to innovation, particularly to drive economic growth. After all, we saw the birthplace of the Industrial Revolution in the invention of the spinning jenny. Our economy laid down some of the first railway infrastructure in the United Kingdom. We produced some of the first television sets in the world. We invented the set-top box. If we didn't invent it, we're also some of the first places to ever adopt technologies. So things like the first tape-recorded police interview, the first motorised bus services, they all happened here in the Leeds City region, and that DNA lives with us still. It's part of the asset base to draw upon. You see that in the business base, you see that in the higher education and university base, where we've got fantastic Russell Group leading-edge universities. And you see it in the entrepreneurialism and the willingness of our entrepreneurs to open up new spaces and produce new products. We're investing heavily in that with our partners in the universities, whether that's through our work on the life sciences and Meditech at the Leeds University, whether it is around biosciences in York, or whether it's around engineering through the Buckley 3M Centre in Huddersfield, and finally, whether it's through the Digital Health Enterprise Zone in Bradford. We are making those investments to bring together fantastic world-class research, early support for entrepreneurs and business startups, and opportunities and spaces for people to grow. So we're opening those up in terms of enterprise zones and building the kind of modern facilities that people need, but also reopening some of our heritage buildings, such as our textile mills across the Leeds City region, and some of our more interesting warehouse spaces for younger entrepreneurs with lower cost of entry. So we've got everything to offer. We've got a tradition of invention driving growth. We've got the skills base to drive growth. We've got the research and development, and we've got the spaces and the places to bring people together. That's part of the unique offering of the Leeds City region.
One of the major aims of the region is to build world-class regeneration sites. One of the region's flagship sites is York Central. It's a big urban space. It's going to have 2,000 homes in it. Major spaces for business to incubate. It's an enterprise zone, which means if you'd like to come and anchor into York Central, you get 5 years business rate free. So we'll have thriving communities, the ability to link a new space with the old, beautiful, historical space of York. To be able to bring 1.6 billion GVA to this region is absolutely phenomenal.
Aside from innovation, our region is a land of sporting heroes. Everything from Adams and the Brownlees to Bairstow and Burgess. Our people do great things on the field, on the track and in the ring. That sporting prowess is leading to investment in new facilities, including the John Smith Stadium.
We are a place that's brought and developed sporting excellence, but we're also really focusing on sporting participation across all our sports. So we have incredible environment, landscape, but also we have teams across all sports that are at international level. So we're really proud of our sporting offer. We're a place for excellence, but also a place where whatever your passion, whatever you want to do, there's adrenaline sports in an environment, whether it's mountain biking, whether it's walking, whether it's actually sailing. Come here and enjoy and experience it here in the Leeds City region.
And we've got it all going on in the Leeds City region. We've got fantastic landscapes, got amazing heritage. We've got world-renowned artists of all kinds, whether it's Barbara Hepworth in terms of sculpture, whether it's Hockney in terms of his art, whether it's the Brontes, who are probably our most famous writers, whose birthdays we continue to celebrate this year. But we've been making systematically now investments in the cultural asset base of the Leeds City region to drive that kind of growth. So, take a couple of examples. I was absolutely delighted to see the Peace Hall open last year. After the York Minster, it's probably the most iconic building in Yorkshire. It is our Placa Real, it is our St Peter's Square. It's a fantastic gathering space for the people of Halifax, but not only that, it's created lots of artisan workshops, great eateries, a fantastic performance space that brings audiences from far and wide. Absolutely stunning thing to have delivered last year.
But it's not alone. We have the Odeon in Bradford, which we are developing as a 4,000 spectator venue, which will bring in 50 new jobs and 10 million into the economy. We're seeing year-on-year increases in our tourism. We recognise that actually we have assets that aren't just good in terms of Yorkshire and Humber and Leeds City region. aren't just great British places, but they're global places. We have here one of the greatest global squares in the world.
Our dramatic landscapes speak for themselves, and they've been the backdrop for many a cultural and sporting event. Today, they're helping raise our international profile as Leeds City Region becomes the location of choice for many production and television companies.
I think importantly, it's the word partnering, how we've partnered with cities in China, for example, Qingdao and Hangzhou, how we've partnered with cities in India, Europe, North America, but also partnered with institutions to showcase our sector strengths, whether it be medical technology devices, health informatics, whether it be the strong financial and professional services, or the very diverse manufacturing sector that we have across the wider city region, together with the fact that we are on the leading edge of digital technologies and devices, often referred to as the fintech capital of the North.
It's been amazing to see what the effect of the Huddersfield Town promotion has been on the town of Huddersfield. We've had people come from far and wide, not just to see Huddersfield as a town and see the beautiful sights of the city region, but actually to see the best football players in the world play on our local stadium.
Clearly, partnering includes making sure that it's a place in a region where businesses nationally and globally want to invest, but also people want to both live and work and enjoy not only good growth, good and better jobs, but above all, good quality lives.
Partnership to me is the only way that we will absolutely succeed.
That's why we'd like to invite you to join us. Become a partner and be part of our success.
As there is one thing that we can all guarantee, and that is our region isn't the upcomer, the plucky underdog, but our region is the place to be.
Part of the only region in the north accelerating levels of FDI according to Ernst & Young.
Leading the transformation to a knowledge-driven economy.
Home to the best city in the UK to start a business.
Seeing the fastest private sector growth in jobs in the UK.
Home to the UK's most improved city.
Home to the most start-up businesses outside London.
A top 5 visitor destination in Europe.
A global solidarity city, leading on international responses to refugee crisis.
Home to the best place to build new homes.
Home to award-winning cultural assets, including the Hepworth and the Peace Hall.
Experiencing our best year ever for office take-up, breaking the 1 million square foot barrier.
A thriving corporate technology scene fueled by a young, diverse digital demographic.
Attracting global brands including Burberry, Sky and Perform Group.
Top 5 LEP for FDI strategy.